Here's the deal. Buyers going at it unrepresented, buyers going in, purchasing homes without an agent, buyers going directly to the listing agent. Melissa, I wanted to talk with you about, maybe some of the pros and the cons, some of the things that buyers should be aware of, right? Just so they know from a liability standpoint what they could be getting into, and hopefully ways where they can make out the best they can in the situation.
Yeah, absolutely, Emilio. I mean, we were talking before the show that this market is still very competitive. The interest rates coming down have certainly helped to re-engage certain buyers that may have otherwise been priced out.
Right.
So I feel like this is specifically important now because we're seeing buyers who are coming back into the market potentially and looking to say, well, how can I get this house? How can I be the most competitive buyer possible? And sometimes they'll consider foregoing their own representative, meaning a buyer agent, and they'll just go directly to the listing agent. And especially with the conversation surrounding buyer agent compensation, which shifted under Rhode Island state laws in December, these are just things that are real. These are our current events. So I cannot tell you all who are listening enough how much a buyer agent representative is so important, because that person is to be negotiating and advocating for you as the prospective buyer with all of the purchase and sales contingencies. If you are moving directly towards the listing model where you just reach out to the listing agent, they are not able to represent you. They represent their seller. For those of us who have been doing and practicing a long time, our job is to make it look easy. It's not easy. And in large part, like you mentioned, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that are happening that the clients may not even understand and appreciate. And that due diligence is really what the value is that those real estate agents are bringing to the prospective buyers. And, some of the contingencies we're thinking about are home inspections, how the mortgage commitment will stack up, if there's any kind of due diligence that needs to be done relative to verification of zoning requirements, depending on how they're intending to use the property. These are all elements that go into our everyday jobs that most buyers, specifically first-time buyers, wouldn't have the slightest clue what is going on and can't appreciate that what they don't know can absolutely hurt them.
Let's say you're in a showing, the listing agent is there, right? You're like, hey, I want to make an offer. You go to the listing agent. What do you think I should offer? Number one, they can't help you with the price. They can't give you any guidance, none. They have to say, I work for the seller. I can't give you any guidance, okay? Number two, okay, let's say you put a price on it, okay, and the house doesn't appraise. All right.
Right.
Now you are renegotiating yet again, because now you have to say, well, hey, look, we're going to walk away if we can't get it. Okay. Or, hey, you know what? We're going to have to come out of pocket for this amount. You're putting yourself in a situation. Number three, the home inspections. Now, if you waive your home inspection because the listing agent is doing their job saying, hey, this home is great. Here's the disclosures. Really, what do you need to do to this home? Okay.
Right.
The listing agent hasn't poked behind the walls, hasn't checked the plumbing.
Emilio, we only talked about inspection. That's like the most baseline contingency that exists. With the complexities of transactions happening simultaneously with a purchase and a sale, there being all sorts of complex inventory out there. Those things haven't even been scratched the surface, which again, I think hopes to highlight to these prospective buyers the need for having representation early in the transaction so that they are adequately protected, and recognizing that going directly to the listing agent, it's not that the listing agent is trying to get one over on somebody, but their duty and obligations are to their client, the seller, and they cannot protect you as a buyer. You really need to get a buyer's agent and a buyer's attorney.